Hello everyone, my name is Christopher Liam Rose. I'm an author, mentor, life coach, motivational speaker, evangelist, musician, and activist. In this audio and in this podcast, we're going to be talking about spiritual teachings. I've been sharing spiritual teachings on spiritually helping other people because I want humanity to go through a spiritual change, and I also want humanity to understand the importance of Jesus Christ, Jehovah, and Buddha, and doing the work of helping other people. So, this spiritual teaching is called today The Light is Within You. Now, within life, we all have a light that's within inside of us, right? So, every human being has a light. Sometimes when we've gone through difficult life experiences, difficult challenges, difficult situations and circumstances, the light that's inside of us gets, you know, taken out and we can't find it. But you have to remember that no matter what you go through in life, the ups and downs, the goods, the bads, the negatives, the positives, that we all have a light that's inside of us. Now, in life, Jesus Christ, Jehovah, Buddha wants us to shine our light to the world, right? And this light can only be found within ourselves, right? So no human being can tell you what the light is. No human being can encourage you and show you what the light is. You have to discover it within yourself and find it within yourself. Now, Jesus Christ, Jehovah, and Buddha wants us to go through a spiritual change. This becomes the most important thing in life and the most important thing in just living in daily life, right? How do we go through a spiritual change? We go through a spiritual change by doing the 5 spiritual practices: prayer, meditation, mindfulness, walking, and journaling. When we do the 5 spiritual practices and we find the light that's inside of us, because the light is inside of us, we have to discover it, right? Connecting to a higher power of Jesus Christ, Jehovah, and Buddha, and connecting to the light that's inside of us, because the light that's inside of us has the compassion, empathy, love, care, kindness, and generosity towards humanity, the animals, and the universe. And this light has to come from within us, right? So by doing the 5 spiritual practices, we sort of find the light that's inside of us. We sort of understand who we are as a human being. Now, the light that's inside of us is really what we call the no self and selflessness, right? So the no self and selflessness is the light that's inside of us. When we discover the light that's inside of us, the no self and selflessness, we realize that our lives are meant to be lived helping other people, giving back and making a difference. And the light that's inside of us is meant to shine within the world and society, and we're meant to be a source of inspiration, share our faith, share our spirituality, and help people in what they're going through. That's why it's so important that you develop the 5 spiritual practices, and it's so important you believe in Jesus Christ, Jehovah, and Buddha, because they want you to go through a spiritual change. They want you to be free from suffering, pains, and adversities, and they want you to find spiritual freedom and spiritual liberation. So the light that's inside of you needs to come out. We need to discover it. We need to reach our full potential, live our spiritual life purpose and our spiritual calling. So by finding the light that's inside of you, and it has to be found within inside of you, no one can tell you what it is, then that source of light becomes the inspiration to others, and that inspiration to others means you'll be helping other people every single day in your daily life, right? I'm not saying that some people have chosen the wrong path in life, because I think due to situations and circumstances, human beings make the choices and decisions of what's best for them at the time. But I'm talking about the light that's inside of you. The light that's inside of you is the light that's really about helping other people, giving back and making a difference. And it's so important to help other people give back and make a difference. We need to find the light that's inside of us, and the light that shines inside of us can be the source of inspiration to others. Now, I want to talk about briefly if you've gone through suffering, pain, and adversity within your life, because I think this is the thing that stops people from finding the light. Now, if you've gone through suffering, pain, and adversity, which it happens to a lot of human beings and it happens to a lot of people, right? Now, if you have gone through suffering, pain, and adversity within your life, all of the things you've experienced within your life, no matter how difficult it's been, challenging it's been, hard it's been, the trauma that you faced from it, can be used as a source of inspiration to find your light. Because sometimes in life, when we go through the horrible experiences, life problems, life challenges, life situations, life circumstances, we find the level of compassion, empathy, and love from what we've experienced. And there's something about when Jesus Christ, Jehovah, and Buddha saves you from what you've been through and frees you from what you've been through, that becomes the source of inspiration to others. And I'm not saying, dear listeners, that, like, don't acknowledge what you've been through. Don't acknowledge the pains and the suffering and adversity you've gone through as a human being. I think it's important to acknowledge it. It's important to understand it. It's important to deal with it, right? But you need to let that be a source of inspiration for you to help other people give back and make a difference. Now, there's so many people that are going through suffering, pain, and adversities and haven't found the way to deal with it. So we have to be that light towards others. We have to be that inspiration towards others. We have to be that source of inspiration, motivation towards the people that are still going through suffering, pain, and adversity. That's why the light is within you. Everything that you need to learn in life comes within you, right? The education, the spirituality, the faith, the spiritual change, it all comes within inside of you. So you already have it within inside of you. The only thing we need to do is unleash it to the world, is tap into that full potential and find our light. Now, our light can be shared in so many different ways. As life has progressed and evolved in life, there's different ways of sharing your light. So you can share it through a podcast, as I'm doing at the moment. You can share it through a video. You can share it through a book. You can share it through a talk. You can share it through a speech. You can share it through an ebook, a paperback book, a message, helping other people within your career, your business, your volunteering, supporting people in the community. So there's no right or wrong way of how you can share your light, or you can share it in faith and spiritual communities. So there's no right or wrong way of how to share your light. What I'm trying to get the listeners to understand is that you must share your light. You must find the light that's inside of yourself, and it only can be found within yourself. Once you do discover the light within yourself, then you discover the no self and selflessness. And that's really part of the spiritual change that is basically part of life, right? You can't become the person you want to be without you finding the light within yourself. So you've got to find the light within yourself, and that's part of the spiritual change of the no self and selflessness. So it's important that you find the light that's within yourself, and we all have a light that needs to be shared to the world. You know, it, you know, a lot of people are going through suffering, pain, and adversity, and it's a very horrible thing to see. It's a very challenging thing to see, but I want to encourage the listeners and the viewers that are listening to this message. The light that's inside of you, the light that's within yourself, you can find it, right? And the way you find it is by going through a spiritual change. And when you go through a spiritual change, the light is within you, and you can find that light, right? That light can be the source of inspiration to others, and that can help you to live your life fully, where you're spiritually changing, spiritually living your life purpose, and spiritually living your calling. Each human being has a spiritual calling. Each human being has a spiritual life purpose. Each human being is put on the earth to do certain things for the Lord Jesus Christ, Jehovah, and Buddha. So we must find that light, and we must find it. So I'm encouraging the listeners and the people that are watching this audio, find the light that's within yourself, and the light comes from within. So you need to spend time in prayer, meditation, mindfulness, walking, and journaling. When you find the light that's within yourself, that can be the source of inspiration for others. And when you find the source of inspiration for others, there's no more self within your life, because you've overcome the self and transcended the self from the self to the no self. And that's a spiritual change of what Jesus Christ Jehovah Buddha wants you to go through. Jesus Christ Jehovah wants you to go through a spiritual change. He wants you to change as a human being. And when you change as a human being, that changes your psychological mind and your psyche. When you change your psyche and your psychological mind, you're thinking differently, you're behaving differently, your personality is different, your mentality is different, your behavior is different, your characteristics are different, your qualities are different. And you'll be able to help other people give back and make a difference in what they're going through. So I encourage listeners, the light is within you. Find that light, find that source of inspiration. And when you find your faith and spirituality, share that to others and help as many people as you can and inspire as many people as you can. Okay, thank you for listening now. Take care now. Bye now. Thanks. Bye.